It's Saturday afternoon in Glasgow, where I was born. 50,000 fans are gathering for what is one of the highest stakes football fixtures in Britain. Glasgow Rangers are playing Glasgow Celtic, a footballing rivalry that stretches back over a century. These so-called Old Firm games used to have a terrible reputation for tipping into violence, boozed up bigotry in full-colour tribe vision. But things are changing. I've taken to the air over Ibrox, the Rangers ground. Flying with me is Clifford Stott, the UK's premier football crowd psychologist.
What we have here is a massive football match, a massive cultural event, and we can see the real significant build-up of the fans moving into the stadium, and you can see how densely crowded these areas are.
Down on the ground, I've always found football crowds a bit awe-inspiring. You want untamed Britain? This is it. Except that from 1,000 feet up, you get a completely different perspective.
We tend to think of football crowds as meaty, clammy, violent, aggressive and anarchic. Looking down from above, it's rather delicate. It's almost ballet-like, what we're seeing here.
What's also striking is the lack of heavy police weaponry, vans, Land Rovers, riot gear.
It's a long kind of ripple of blue, quite relaxed looking, and only a couple of specks of fluorescent yellow policing.
These police don't look like they're equipped to deal with any kind of violence. There's no batons, no shields.
They're in ordinary uniform, they're communicating with fans and interacting with them in a positive fashion. And that sets a tone, it sets a friendly tone for the crowd as a whole that in effect undermines the opportunity for anybody seeking to create widespread disorder.
Strathclyde Police are in fact one of the very few forces in the country who don't deploy riot police at major football matches like this. They still keep an eye out for troublemakers, but they do it from above, at a distance. Because according to Clifford, squads of riot police on the ground can actually encourage outbreaks of violence.
Heavy-handed policing can inadvertently create the conditions where hooligan minorities can create more disorder and create more influence in the crowd than they might otherwise achieve.
At the one spot where the rival fans could meet, at the corner of the stadium, the police have carved out a buffer zone. Even though the Rangers fans have gathered here to goad and taunt their opponents, they stick behind the thin line of officers. Why? It seems as if the fans have tacitly agreed just how untamed they're going to be. The match itself ends without any major incidents. Rangers win by a single goal, and as the two rival tribes stream out of the stadium, I summon up the courage to head back down and see what it all feels like on the ground.
I mean, this is what I would, expect a football match to be like. Actually, it's not. That's not true. It's better humoured.
Exactly.
There's a lot of abuse. There's a lot of very rude things being said, but in a genial and cheerful way. That's a lot less threatening than it would have been 5 or 10 years ago, I suspect. Is that right?
Despite the notorious reputation of this fixture, what we're actually looking at is a relatively jovial, boisterous level of confrontation. There's no real
smiling
threat.
People.
And of course the smiles are on that side of the fence as opposed to that one.
Not that side, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Here, the patterns and movements of two rival tribes are being traced out on the urban landscape.